Hello and welcome to another JMP video. I'm the host JonNario and today I'll be talking about light. Similar format that I did to both the magifying video and the movement speed video that I've done in the past. There's going to be a way to tell you the important details of light and what are going to be all of the items in order to maximize your light. If you haven't seen any of the other videos, I would suggest you check them out. Again, all I'm going to say is maximizing any particular stat is going to take you a while. Even if it is light is one of the easier ones to get into the high stat value. It's still going to take you a long time to do, so do be patient. Now, let's move on to what is light. Light is going to be a stat on your character sheet that allows you to do higher damage to enemies with the darkness stat. Or to put it more simply, darkness stat is the armor the enemy has. Light is going to be the armor penetration that you have. And one more thing before you ask, Pixel Ally does have the darkness stat value, which is an ally that you can get from donation stations, but that darkness stat doesn't do anything to the player. I have done the testing, pretty much it doesn't grant you any damage or any damage resistance. Now, let's move on into the light and what pretty much light does it do in general. Light is, like I just mentioned before, is armor penetration. If you don't know what is armor penetration in most video games, it's pretty much is going to be a percentage of your true damage against that particular enemy that has armor. In this case, enemies has darkness, so the enemy is going to resist a certain percentage of your true damage. The higher light means the higher penetration, means the more percentage you're going to do against those enemies. Pretty simple. And all of those enemies are going to be enemies from Geo topside, including the Leviathans, and all enemies in Delves, including all of the bosses. All of the enemies in Uber 8 topside have the same amount of darkness. Same goes with Uber 9 and Uber 10, and Leviathan do have higher light than all of the enemies of that particular Uber. I do believe even Uber 8 Leviathan has higher darkness than the Uber 10 enemies. And in the case of the Delves, it's depending on the difficulty that you're at certain depths you're going to increase your Uber, meaning that the enemy is going to have higher darkness stat value on that particular Uber. So yeah, the higher the difficulty, the more darkness the enemy has, meaning the more light that you need in order to do damage to those enemies. Bosses inside the Delves work exactly the same as Leviathan. They're going to have even higher darkness stat value than every single enemy in that particular floor. Trust me, it's a little bit less confusing than I just made it out to, but I needed to point that out. Also, one more thing before I go into all of the items is going to be light cap in Uber 10. The reason I'm mentioning this is because it's somewhat of a hot topic, and at the same time, this is the only endgame content that actually has light cap value. Leviathan, not even the Uber 8 Leviathan has light cap as of right now, because you cannot reach light cap against those enemies, as far as I know. And same goes with like the Delph enemies. So for the most part, most of the Delph enemies don't have a light cap. I do believe some of them do, like especially like on the lower depths, but at least on the higher depth, on the end game one, which is, you know, the highest difficulty, none of the enemies actually have light cap because you're dealing so low damage. However, in Uber 10 being the only end game content that actually has light cap, I'm going to be talking about what it is and pretty much two important reasons of why this is just important to mention. And yeah, let's move on. The Uber 10 light cap is going to be 8,000 light. Some people were speculating 7.8, some people were speculating 7.9. I did the testing with 7,800, 7,900, 8,000, 8,300, and also max light with the same stat across all of the light, and I was doing the same damage after 8,000. Below 8,000 I was doing less and less damage, so 8,000 is the light cap. And there's going to be a couple of reasons why this is so important. Number one is going to be that if you're struggling on getting the permanent torch, if you're over 8,000 light, then you don't need the permanent torch in order to actually do max damage or somewhat close to max damage. Either way, it's not 100% important to have the permanent torch for over 10 dungeon grinding. But again, permanent torch is still very important for the other content. Number two is going to be if you want to reach the highest potential damage possible. If you're already maxed out, you want to do that, even though I don't find it necessary. But again, if you want to do it, you can do so. You can actually lower the amount of light that you have on your gems in order to actually increase more of your damage and critical damage, so you can actually just dish out the highest damage possible. Again, like I just mentioned, it's not necessary because if you're already maxed out in light, it means that you're already killing enemies really quickly. So it is what it is, but pick your poison. For me personally, I don't find it too necessary, but if you want to do it, go ahead and do it. Now I will be talking about all of the items that grant you light. In no particular order, is going to be crystal gear, crystal hat, weapon, and faces. As long as they're crystal or above, they can actually have light. Light is irreplaceable on the crystal gear, so it's just always going to be there below the main stat or below the first stat. So it's going to be either the 1.5 second stat, however you want to call it, but it's always going to be there. Note that I'm going to mention one little pointer is going to be if you want to reach the highest light possible on crystal gear, make sure to have the highest level crystal gear possible. The reason being is that crystal gear fully pearl base has the same amount of light as a maxed out crystal gear which is fully pro, fully star of the previous level. For example, if you have a crystal level 3 that is maxed out with full star and full pearls, it's going to have the same light value as a base crystal level 4, no star, fully pearl. So if you want to have the highest light possible, the highest crystal level is going to be the best way to go. Then it's going to be the banners. There's going to be plenty of banners that you can get. Most of them can grant you from either 100 all the way to 300, but if you can get yourself to the Leviathans, either weekly torches, permanent torches upgraded, you can get all the way up to 900 extra light, which those are the highest, the Uber 10 permanent torches and the weekly torches from the Uber 10 Leviathan as well. Then it's going to be the allies. There's going to be plenty of allies that actually grant light. Pretty much all of them can be crafted in the Delve workbench, and the highest allies are going to be 300 light. Then it's going to be Cosmic Gem. You know how it is. Cosmic Gem can grant you a lot of light, and Cosmic Gem are going in Geo top size. Stellars are the highest, and make sure to actually have the large upgrades all go towards light if you want to maximize your light. Large upgrades are the level 5, 10, and 15 large upgrade that you do get on any particular gem. If you don't know how many rolls you have on your particular gem, then you can just go into the gem forge, and you can just see by just checking the little pearls above the stat, and make sure to have all 3 of them on light if you want to fully maximize it. Geo Mastery can actually increase your light to all of your character by 10 per level. There's 100 levels for the Geo Mastery, so you can get a total of to 1000 extra light to all characters just by increasing your Geo Mastery, so make sure to level that one up. Then it's going to be Charles, the Chaos Dragon. The Chaos Dragon is going to be the dragon from Corruption. Corruption is going to be an NPC that appears in the hub every 2 weeks. You can just go ahead and buy the Chaos Fragments from him. And once you get yourself 50 fragments, you can actually craft yourself this dragon. Crafting this dragon will grant you 50 light to all characters. And then it's going to be the food. There's going to be some of the food that actually grants light. The highest food is going to the free range electronic crystal, which is gotten from Delves, and also gotten from the pressurized lock caches, which again is also gotten from Delves. So that food can grant you up to 300 extra light. And then the only temporal buff that I would like to mention is going to be the Berserk Battler. Berserk Battler is going to be a cosmic and power gem ability that grants you light upon hitting enemies. If you hit an enemy once, you get 250 light, which is very nice. If you hit enemies 11 times within 3 seconds, you're going to get a total of 750 light. So that's going to be an extra 500 light on top of the 250 that you get on Frenzy State, which is going to be a total of 750 light. And you also get attack speed, which is going to be a plus 40 on Berserk, plus 15 on Frenzy. Frenzy is the stage 1, Berserk is stage 2. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If I forget something, let me know in the comment section down below if it is an obtainable item that you can actually increase your light. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking around as always. Make sure to actually just grind all of these items, because all of these items for the most part are grindable. The only one that is time getting might be the Chaos Dragon, but aside from that, most of the things are just grindable, which that's why light is one of the easier ones to actually get into the high light value. Most of the things can be grinded, and if you're lucky, you can just get them very easily. But yeah, that's going to be everything for me. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking around as always. Leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and I hope to see you next time. Take care and keep on hunting, and good luck in increasing your light.